I hope some of you are going to do this gallery exercise with me. Extra credit. It's got some important skills in it. Again, as usual, here's the assignment. You can play along with me, and probably better to just play along with this video, though you may want to have this beside you as you go. Something different this time is I ask you to download a zip file from Moodle. When you do, it's going to look something like this, gallery last name zip. You could, of course, do lots of things with it. You could just double click on it. You could choose extract all. I don't like those choices. You may have the choice that says open a new window, which is the same as open with Windows Explorer, which I prefer. It gives me more control because I can just select it. I'm inside the zip file now. See, I'm inside the zip file. I can copy it, and then I can take it from outside and paste it in here. Remember, you can't actually work inside a zip file, or nothing inside a zip file looks or acts properly. Once you take it out, it's fine. I don't need the zip file now. I can delete it if I want, or leave it there. It doesn't matter. You might get confused. You have to rename this with your last name, remember? This is going to be your new root folder. And later you're going to be zipping it, so that would be a reason to get rid of this zip file. In any case, inside there are two things. Well, more than that. There's a gallery file, which I'm going to open in Notepad++. There it is. And there is a images folder with 6 images. Okay, we'll be surprised about what they are. Like, we can be surprised right away. You're going to have to edit your gallery file for your name in the title and your name in each one. And guess what? There's already a bunch of HTML here and a bunch of CSS we're going to be working with too. Here we go. There's already an image here too. I'm not using alt text for any of these. You should though. Remember, for you're really making a gallery. So I'm going to save this and run it. What's going on? Well, here's one image. Okay, good. Guess what? This image is named Sport 1, and the other ones are Sport 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to get in 2 more. I'm going to copy this paragraph. I put my IMG inside a paragraph because of block envelope because you're supposed to. Some people would do this exercise without that, and it would be a very similar exercise. Maybe, I'm not sure which is more realistic. If you ever want to, you can try it without. And I did 2 and I did 3, and guess what? Okay, here we go. We've got our images in here. They're arranged as you would expect because nothing's been floated yet. So let's do some floating. Each of these images has a class of photo all. And here's that class right here, right? And we'll go ahead and put some code in for the class. And we're going to say float left and run it. And there's our images. This floated to the left, didn't do too much, but the second one floated, the third one floated, and they're just jammed together like this. See that the depth on them is similar, but not exact. Some galleries you might have exact depths and widths. Widths are all the same. Some galleries you might allow the depths to flex. It's up to you. The depths flex here a little bit. All right, so let's continue then. I'm going to add some space here. Let's add a 20 pixel margin on the left of each one. Okay. Left. Good. What happens with that? Why do these fit so nicely? Well, of course, I planned it out ahead. How big are these photos? If you're not sure, you can always do this trick, remember? Open an image in a new tab, and hover over the tab. It tells you the size of it and the name of the image. 300 pixels wide. Well, that makes sense, right? Because 300, 300, 300 is 900. 20, 20, 20, 20 is 980, right? And guess what? I have a wrapper div around this whole thing with a 980 width. You can look through the rest of the CSS if you want to see how I got that header and footer area and so on. Okay, so that all worked out fine. Hey, let's put in the rest of the photos. What do you say? I'm just going to grab this whole thing, paste it in there, and do 4, 5, 6, save it and run it. What went wrong? Well, when things float, the next thing that floats will want to jam up to the highest level it can. And of course, there's a slight difference in level here. So you should get an idea. This is a clear situation. We have to clear this guy. That's number 4, right? We have a clear style, an ID actually. We'll say clear left. But we have to apply that ID to what? To photo 4. Here it is. So we'll say ID equals quotation mark, and we used the name of it was clear, right? And remember, this word isn't doing anything except it links up to the CSS. And there we are, but we could use some spacing. And how would we do that? Well, we could put 20 pixels on the bottom of everything. How about that idea? So we'll do that right here in photo all. Photo all applies to all photos. Just because I made it do that. We could use margin shorthand command bottom. But we could just do this too. Okay, here's another way some people have done it, handled this this clearing situation here. Getting the clear to work right can be a bit of a pain. So instead, you have another option. I just want to present it to you as a possibility. What if instead of clearing this image 4, we stuck in here an extra div? This is in your instructions too. An empty div actually. And gave it an ID of right. Actually, let's give it an ID of spacer just to keep those separate. It's a separate function, really. I already created a spacer, so we might as well use it, and we'll give the spacer, we could say, well, spacer class will just be clearing, and I'm going to save that because we might have more than one of them. That's why it's a class. Remember, IDs, there's only going to be one. That would be one issue. That should have probably been a class too. Run it. Oops, hold on, I screwed that up. See what I did wrong? I called it an ID, but it's a class. I made it a class with a dot. There you go. Okay, so that worked fine. So now let's add captions. We might as well leave this method with the spacer in there. Let's add a caption. Well, where would a caption go? It could go in the same paragraph, but to have more control, I'm going to give a new paragraph. I'm going to say, there's a caption. Good. And I'm going to run it. And what happens, here's the problem. It's not floating, of course, because it's outside of that thing. To make this work, we have to put a div around every photo and give that, and photo and caption together, and give that the photo all class for the floating and the sizing and all that stuff. How can we do that? Here's a quick way to do it. Well, sort of quick. I'm going to put a div around this whole thing, right? Oops, not the H1. I'm going to close the div after the caption. And I'm going to take my class photo all, and stick it in div. And now I'm going to delete these other two guys. I'm going to leave the spacer. I'm going to, again, copy, paste, space, paste, make this photo 2. Sorry, I got 1, 2, 3, 3, and guess what? We might as well just keep on going, huh? Let's get rid of 4, 5, and 6. We'll make that 4. That'd be 5. That'd be 6. 4, 5, and 6. Let's see if we got it right. Save, running, watching Chrome. And there it is. Each caption is with the photo. They're acting as a group because they're in a div. The class, which did the floating and the sizing, was applied to the div, not to the individual image now. That should make sense. But what happens if the caption gets longer? Let's go up to photo 1, and let's make the caption longer. Okay, and save and run it. So we still have a problem because this caption paragraph doesn't have any size attached to it. So let's do this. Remember how big the photo was? 300 pixels wide. Let's make the caption that size too. And by the way, you could do all this sizing in percentages and see if it flexed. It'd be kind of complicated though, but it's possible. Yeah, you could do that. Okay, here we go. The caption is 300 pixels. So this is a class called caption. So that means I have to apply that to each of these, that class to each of these captions. Class it is, right? Yes. Quotation marks. So that one works, right? Let's see. There it is. Hey, let's stick it on all of them. Quick way to do this. I'm going to select that whole paragraph with the longer caption in the class. I'm going to replace this one. Replace this one. Replace this one. And so on. I think I got them all. Did I get them all? Let's see. Yes, I guess I did. Okay, in a real gallery, of course, why are you going to do a gallery? You do a gallery because you want small photos I can click on and go to a page which has a larger photo and maybe more explanation or something like that. Maybe I wouldn't even do captions here and save captions for the other page, or maybe more extensive captions there, and so on. So imagine this as a gallery displaying your work. Okay, so where's my link going to be to go someplace else? We're not going to do that other page, but I do want to do the link. I could link the photo and the text. I could just link the photo. I could just link the text. I'm going to do both of them with one big href, right? This is not part of the exercise, by the way. You can stop now and save it, or you can go ahead and do this if you want to. I'm not going to be putting it around the div. I want to be inside the div. But I might as well link the paragraph. Why not? I'll start right at the top here. href, right? Equals, as usual, quotation mark. What's going to go here? Well, we're going to put a hashtag because we're going to have a dummy link. And then I have another page to go to. So we're just going to do a dummy link. But it's still going to act like a link. I'm going to close my A just before the div closes. Let's save that and run it. Now my text is linked. I don't have any link styling applied to this style sheet. So that's why it's come as a generic link. I can see it is linked. And by the way, I can see when I put my cursor over it that the photo is linked also. So the photo and text are linked. This could just be a photo name, by the way. And of course, you would style it much more interesting way than that. And that's the end of the exercise.